In this one, we're looking at questions where a word might be key and also how to find a piece of information that may not be immediately apparent. So the question is, which one of the following is not an acceptable method of identifying a bare conductor? So we're looking for something about bare conductors, but that not word is really, really important, isn't it?
Yeah, that can trick some people up.
Yeah.
On the homework sessions that we give out, generally a few will pick up on that saying, you know, can't allow that.
Because sometimes you see the right thing, you think, oh, that's the one they want, but it's not. So, where would we start with this thing, Gary? We're looking for something about conductors, bare conductors, but it's not really obvious where we'd look in the regs.
Okay, I'm honing in immediately to these two words here, but the identification of these things.
Okay,
all right.
yeah.
Now, if you were a designer or an installer, you would need to select a cable conductor for conduits, SWA or something like that. So if I'm going to select it and then erect it, as in put it in and put it on a wall, I'm thinking part 5, definitely part 5.
Okay, so it's part 5, so that gives us a place to start with if we're completely without a thought. And we turn to part 5, looking at page 124, and we can see the contents page there. And very quickly, as you scan down it, you can see an identification in 514, identification notices. That's got to be warm, isn't it?
Oh, definitely. that covers all of the things about colours for the conductors.
So if I turn to 514, which is just a few turns of the page, we find on page 129, identification notices, and there's quite a few headings there. You might look at identification of conductors. It doesn't say anything about bare conductors in that. Keep going down. But when you turn the page to 130, we've got right at the top, 514.
Bare conductors.
Bare conductors.
So what does it say?
Read it out. A bare conductor shall be identified when necessary by the application of tape, sleeve or disc of the appropriate colour prescribed in table 5.1. You might at this point dive off there excitedly, but if you keep reading a few more words, or by painting with such a colour.
So that is permitted.
So it's permitted.
So
now we go back to the question, we can pretty much sort it out. We know tape's okay, we know sleeving's okay, and we know painting's okay. Therefore, application of a warning notice
is the one that's not.
Is the not. Yeah. So, and I know there'll be some people thinking, well, when would you use paint?
Great for buzz bar chambers.
Yeah.
I mean, this is one example of how it's been done, but you can use little discs and colours and sleeving as appropriate.
Yeah. And in fact, I'll tell you a little side here. I had this question in my exam.
Did you?
Yeah, when I took the 18th. And
how did you approach it then?
So a totally different approach. I went to the index.
Good start.
Which
That's always an option because
it
it's
is an
very
option
comprehensive. So do make use of that if there's an awkward word or phrase.
Yeah, if you just can't think where to go, have a look at the index, have a peruse, and there it is, bare conductors. And as you go down, you can see there are 2 regs that cover it, and one of them is 514.4.6, the one we just looked at, which is bare conductors and painting with such a colour.
So there.
So
two choices, two routes.
Choices,
very
and
good.
yeah, I got that one right.
Well done.
It's the only one.
Oh, I think you did better than that, Dave. I know you got.
We hope you found that useful. I should stress that the questions we're addressing in this series aren't official exam questions taken from any paper, but they're very typical of the sort of thing you find on questions from any of the examining bodies for the 18th edition. If there's a question or a subject that you'd like us to address in these sessions, then please do drop me a line, dave.austin@learninglounge.com, or you can simply enter the question in the comments box below.
And don't forget, there are more questions on our website, learninglounge.com/18. And even more questions when you subscribe to one of our courses.